Hello, my fellow garden gals and guys. Welcome back to my channel, Serenity Now Garden. My name's Jeannie, and I garden in central Minnesota in the Zone 5A, formerly 4B last year. So I'm going to show you this container I put together first. We have some New Guinea impatiens in the bottom and a big Regal Shield elephant ear. This is some Perilla Magilla. I believe that's how you say it. It's in the basil family. But the elephant ear is huge. I just put this together because I just needed something here. It's part shade. So we have a few great things happening in the garden this week and a few really bad things happening. Unfortunately, we had over 6 inches of rain in the matter of a week to an already saturated ground. So I'll show you in the back in a bit and you'll kind of see where it flooded. But here's my front porch right now. Won't really spend too much time there. Let me just show you a few things. 9-bark hedge is done blooming, but the spent blooms are turning like a dark red. We have this Jackmanii Clematis. It is glorious right now. I'll come through the arbor at a different angle here so you could see. It's kind of winding through the 9-bark. Unfortunately, the other side doesn't get as much sun, so it's not as big, but hopefully that'll fill in. But look at this. It's just covered in buds. So we're just end of June here. And yeah, this will look glorious for another week or two. We'll see. I fertilized it really well this year and it just loved all the rain. It was not in a flooded area either, so very well draining soil up here. So yeah, very excited about that. It's a little bit windy today, but it's overcast, so I kind of just wanted to show you today everything. Let me kind of take you down the side yard here. You know, I have a kind of like a small rock garden on the right and a few plants that are finally filling in on the left. We have at the bottom there is Atlantis sedum. It looks great next to this salvia. I love purple next to golds. We have some Max Frey geranium, blue arrow juniper. Over here we have a couple sedums. And we also have this Celine. Now this Celine just started blooming and it will bloom like all the way till frost. It's a great rock garden plant. We have moss over here. We have a couple other sedums. Here's some lemon coral sedum. Filling in nice. The quick fire hydrangeas, I have 2 over here. They're supposed to get 8 feet tall and wide if they get to their full potential. This is the 3rd year and they look so good this year. They're just starting to open. Very dainty flowers that open. One of the first hydrangeas to bloom in the year. And I love it. Trying to create a little hedge over here with this as well. I do keep all this sprayed with liquid fence so the deers don't get to it. We have more hostas over here. Those gold dancing queen hostas just pop from a mile away. I love those. Nannyberry viburnums. Trying to create a privacy hedge here. I'll do a hosta tour probably next week or the week after. Just want those to grow in a little bit before I go through each one for all my hosta lovers out there. We have a couple great things happening over here now. This area that goes down a bit is my backyard. It's completely saturated. It's like squishy. It's so wet. But there are a few plants that love it, and Astilbe and hostas I never have an issue with back here. They could take a ton of water. It's way over here on the far side that got flooded, and I'll show you that after I show you these Astilbes over here. Hostas are so happy this year. They put on so much growth. I fertilized those with Milorganite this year. That big one right there on the right is a humpback whale. So most of these Astilbes aren't open yet. There's just one that always starts off. I believe it's a Visions chinesis or chinensis. like a Chinese Astilbe. It is gorgeous. It's so fluffy. It'll stay like this for a couple weeks, but it's always the first one. So can't wait for the other ones to open next to it. You'll see tons of mosquitoes back here, by the way. We have some gold lamium in the bottom there. It'll kind of fill in. This Astilbe isn't blooming yet, but gosh, it's like a good 4.5 feet tall. This will get light pink when it opens. I believe that's called Mighty Pip. We got some catmint back here. These are native elderberries in the back. They were here when I moved in 5 years ago, so we just kind of trimmed them up to make them more like tree form, basically. But they have these gorgeous white flowers that'll turn into purple berries in a few weeks. They do spread with runners, so it's good to just have a large area for them just to take off. But they stay kind of tame back here. Very squishy back here. the the Sun King Aurelias aren't liking it so much, but this caladium I just put back here till I have these cardinal flowers fill in. It is a lemon blush caladium by Proven Winners. Really pretty. Really pops from a mile away. A few other things back here I could show you. This is always a good early summer bloomer, which is Penstemon. This one's Midnight Masquerade, I believe. But there was a hummingbird on this the other day. I missed it though. I ran out to take a picture and it was gone, but those can attract some hummingbirds, which is nice. The Siberian iris are done blooming. Over here we have more Penstemon. We have Coreopsis in front there. I do want to show you this dogwood back here. This is a garden glow dogwood, this gold dogwood in the back, and it is so striking. Like you could see it like from my window in my house, and it's just really pops. Look at this Joe Pye weed in back. This is a good like 6, almost 7 feet tall already, and it's not even July. I love it. We got some Carl Forster grass just in front of that, just for a different texture. I'm honestly really surprised that some of these plants are making it. A lot of them are yellowing because it's just been so wet. There's some delphinium that's about to open. Here's one that just opened. Different variety, but just behind that is where my cut flower garden was or is, but unfortunately it did flood. It's like a swamp back there right now. So it was really upsetting, but I only missed out on some seeds. So I'll show you a little bit closer in a minute. Let me show you these Royal Candle Veronica plants here. These are amazing. They love all the water next to this fragrant bouquet hosta. But there was standing water back here. So far the castor bean plant is fine with it. This is supposed to get 8 feet tall. This is an annual. We got toad lilies back here that are fine with all the flooding. Not blooming yet. And here's where the swamp is. Fortunately, like it just started raining a ton after all of these zinnias I had planted back here were sprouted. So we'll see if they're stunted. There's a couple plants back here that are loving life, like this fiber optic button bush. So this is just a really good flood tolerant plant if you need one. Next to that is Cerbifolia sem, and we have Queen of the Prairie just on the left of that that's really tall. Those are excellent flood tolerant plants too if you're looking for one or a few. Unfortunately, we had some tomato plants that are dying back here and now some Gateway Joe Pye weed that's also dying. The Gateway Joe Pye weed looked like it was going to pull through, but it's just been too wet for too long. There's like no oxygen in the soil there. So yeah, this is really upsetting, but it's still early. Zinnias take about 2 months to bloom, so I am gonna just let this dry out for another week and then try to reseed. I don't know if these are stunted, if they're gonna make it, or what's gonna happen here. It's just kind of a wait and see, but we are gonna put raised beds back here. We are next to the wetlands, so we knew that there was the potential for flooding back here. So raised beds next year. Here's the front of my house here, the front bed. Not a whole lot going on right now. We're waiting on a few things to start blooming. We do have some catmint blooming. Alliums are done now. Let me show you these drumstick alliums. So these are the tiny ones that are just going to bloom very soon. This is the first year I've had these, so I'm not sure what they're going to look like, but I'm excited about that. We have some really cool Artemisia here too, with some yellow blossoms just starting to open. That white plant is just so striking. We got some catmint there. I believe that's Walker Jr. I cut back all the daffodil foliage here, and there's another catmint. Creme Brulee Potentilla just blooming its heart out as usual. Great shrub. Just blooms forever. Sonic Blue Magilla is done for the most part right now. I did plant some zinnias up here that will make it. These are going to be pink senoritas, so at least those took. We got a mock orange just done blooming. Just has a couple more hanging on. Those are gorgeous blooms. This one's a snow white, so it stays kind of compact. This is a Whispers pink catmint, so a pink catmint. Really thought that was cool looking, so something different. Very hardy plant, drought tolerant. Next to that golden spirit smoke bush, so pretty. That really pops too. And just back here, I planted a bunch of dreadlocks amaranth, so hopefully that'll take. That'll get like 6, 7 feet tall. And we got some Silver Mound Artemisia in front here. Millennium alliums just behind that, so those will bloom mid-August. And that's about it for this week. But, I'll show you guys in another week or two. I'll give you guys an update. Happy gardening, and I hope you enjoyed. Take care.